A horse with no name. There was a horse with no name, and that was a problem because the universe requires labels to function properly. Without a name, the horse existed in a quantum state, both there and not there, galloping and standing still, starving and full. A scientist, Dr. Lucinda Klein, tried to name the horse Greg, but the moment she spoke the name, the horse vanished for 5 minutes. When she wrote the name down, the ink refused to dry. When she thought the name very hard, she got a nosebleed. The government got involved. They built a facility in the desert to contain the horse, which seemed content to wander aimlessly, free from identity, responsibility, or tax obligations. The military designated it Anomaly 747, but this did nothing. They brought in linguists, theologians, poets. A marketing team suggested calling it Freedom Max, which led to a short-lived ad campaign and a lucrative but unrelated line of patriotic chewing gum. A famous philosopher was flown in, sedated, and woken up inside the enclosure. He took one look at the horse and said, "Ah." Then he died. Dr. Klein became obsessed. She stopped sleeping. She dreamed of the horse, but in the dreams, it had eyes like her father's, and its breath smelled like a childhood birthday cake. She started seeing other things that didn't have names, glimpses of objects in the periphery, familiar yet undefined. A shape behind a doorway, a shadow that stretched in the wrong direction. One day, a cowboy named Jimmy Two Toes rode into the facility on a very normal horse named Steve. He looked at the nameless horse, nodded once, and whispered something. Nobody heard what he said, but the horse snorted, neighed, and then trotted off into the horizon, slowly dissolving into the heat waves. Jimmy Two Toes tipped his hat and rode away. The scientists and generals stood in stunned silence. Dr. Klein later found an old, crumpled note in the horse's empty enclosure. It said, "Some things are only real if you try too hard to make them real." She stared at it for a long time. Then she burned it.